Well, guys, today, unfortunately, I found out that my pet spider, one of my pet spiders, had passed away. And you can see down here, wow, that zoomed in really well, that she's in a death curl, is what that's called, when the legs are all tucked up in underneath themselves. And I've had her for about a year. Her name is Ahab, and the reason for that is because the species is called a dark fishing spider. The scientific name is Dolomedes something. I don't quite remember off the top of my head. But I was like, oh, a fishing spider, fisherman, Ahab from Moby Dick. But yeah, unfortunately, let me see if I can get this open. Maybe that'll give a better view. She made a real mess of her enclosure. Wasn't the cleanest spider, but yeah, there she is. And I've had a bunch of footage from going a while back of different things that she's done, from molting to eating. So I thought I would go ahead and put it all together into one video and upload it to my channel so it can, one, clear up some space on my phone, and two, serve as a sort of nice tribute to her. So this is Ahab, my dark fishing spider, which is a species native to Illinois, where I live. And originally, my friend had found her in her garage while she was cleaning. And so, because she knew that I liked spiders, I went over there and picked her up. Now, I was only going to keep her for a couple days and then release her, just get some cool footage and everything, because I didn't really have the right enclosure for a long term keeping this spider. But unexpectedly, after getting the footage that I wanted to, and then the next day I was going to go over to the lake and release it, she molted in the middle of the night. Actually, it was early in the morning, and it was really cool because I actually caught the footage of her shedding her old skin. If you've seen my other video about the tarantula that I had where it molted, I showed kind of in clips and phases of it molting out of the skin, because that tarantula, it molted rather slowly. But Ahab here, she molted quickly, and I gotta say, it's kind of gross, but it's also kind of cool. So here's the footage of that. You can actually see her pushing out of the old skin, that thing that looks like it's coming out of the back, as the legs kind of just pushing the old skin away. And here it is a little bit further along. You can see the legs are breaking free. She actually molted upside down, which is not uncommon, I think, for spiders. And here you can see that as she's pushing free, the legs just start to kind of flop on the ground uselessly. But yeah, really cool footage, and I was happy to get it. But the thing is, once they molt, they're not in the best shape to be fending for themselves. Their skin isn't quite hardened, and because of that, I decided that even though I was only going to keep her initially for a day or so, that I would just hold on to her for a little bit. I went and got some crickets from the pet store, the same types of crickets that I had fed to my tarantula, and she took them. And I've got some footage of that in a minute too. It's really cool. You can see kind of like the hollowed out old skin there that's still clinging to the leaf as she's just slowly pushing her way out. So yeah, and then there she is in her new skin. I really like the pattern on her abdomen. It's just cool. Okay, and so here's some footage of her hunting. This was one of the first crickets that I gave her, and it came around the corner and she kind of caught it like right on the head. And it's the venom paralyzes them, so the cricket was trying to get away, couldn't quite do it, and she had herself a nice meal there. And once she felt confident that it wasn't going to escape, she kind of just went back up near the top of the enclosure and had a nice feast. There's some more footage of her. Now you might be wondering, how do I know it was a girl? Well, she laid a giant egg sac a couple months after I had her. And you can actually see that the egg sac, when it tears open, the little spider babies are in the inside there. And not only did she lay one egg sac, she laid 4 of them by the time she finally died. She just kept laying them, and it got kind of annoying, honestly, having to keep an eye out for them to make sure that it didn't hatch before I could get it out of the enclosure, and then I'd have baby spiders all over my living room. But yeah, here's more footage of her catching crickets, having a good time, feasting, eating. This isn't really a rare species of spider. Like I said, it's pretty common to Illinois, and I don't think people usually keep them as pets. They like to hang out near lakes, like off of docks and stuff. So this spider had a pretty good life, I'd say, for a fishing spider. They only lived for about 2 years, and I had a feeling that she was mature anyway when I got her, just because of her size. And I kept her for about a year. And I was starting to wonder when the time was coming, because she'd already laid a couple of egg sacs, and that's what they do when they're mature. I don't know when she bred with the male spider. It must have been sometime before I got her. But I knew the end was coming. She was older, and so unfortunately it's time to say goodbye to Ahab.